This is Bomb Hoops Podcast.
What is up, guys? This is Bomb Hoops Podcast hosted by Jem and Jello. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and click that notification bell as well to keep you updated on our latest releases. And also to help us reach 1,000 subscribers. Ayun, tol. So we are now back to the latest segment of our show, and this will be a permanent segment, at least for the next few months ng ating show na the legacy episodes. So for
And it was a perfect start dahil nga we celebrated yung life ni Kobe Bryant.
yeah.
And talk about his legacy last week. And now we will be talking about one of the greatest players of all time na medyo nakakalimutan na ng iba. Pero let's discuss the Big Deeper, Wilt Chamberlain, bro.
Ayun, so with Wilt Chamberlain, some of the few records na hinahawakan niya is the highest scoring points per game in a regular season, and he holds at least, I think, the first 5 nung most averages na yan, because he had multiple 50 points per game seasons, and he also holds the record for minutes per game, which is 48.5. Ang explanation kasi nun is he was playing a lot of overtime games, and he played all games. He never rested during that season. And also the most rebounds per game in a season, which was 27.8 or 28, basically 28 rebounds per game.
And ayun na nga, yung mga record na yan, hindi mo na makikita yan nowadays eh. Perhaps once in a while may mga kalapit, like for example, sa 100 points niya, si Kobe Bryant nga. Pero yung 81 points niya medyo malayo eh, kasi 19 points. Malayo-layo pa din yun eh. So, I think Wilt's legacy will always be about yung NBA records kasi marami dyan hindi na magagawa talaga ever.
And that was because during that time na naglalaro si Wilt, the competition was a bit weaker and the rules were a bit looser. So, a lot of things na ginawa ni Wilt to get to those records wouldn't be allowed in today's NBA.
Yeah, and actually, idagdag mo pa sa mga unofficial records ni Wilt Chamberlain is he once blocked 25 shots in a playoff game against the Detroit Pistons noong 1968. However, yung ni-record lang ng NBA yung mga block shots starting noong 1974 season. So, technically, wala sa stat line niya yung number of blocks na yun. Pero once in a game, he recorded those amounts of blocks.
And if we think about it, kung recorded lang yung blocks nung time na naglalaro siya, he might have another record to his name, which would be the total blocks and the highest blocks per game in a season. So yun, sayang nga lang hindi na record. Pero I think that the newspapers and the records itself show ng mga local reporters, and although hindi siya officially recorded, we could easily say na Wilt is actually the best shot blocker in the NBA ever.
And he might make a case for the best center ever, di ba? Perhaps kasi dahil nga sa physical abilities niya, sa records niya, kung mahilig ka sa stats, ito yung player na mahihiligan mo.
And let's still say na he is the GOAT because of his accomplishments on the court, on the NBA court, and his accomplishments on other sports. Na naglalaro nga siya ng volleyball, and he was also playing track and field. For someone na 7'2", to be a track and field star, sobrang kakaiba, di ba?
And actually, when Wilt Chamberlain retired, sinabi ni Kareem Abdul-Jabbar na he is the greatest player of all time. And wala na talagang makakatulad sa ginawa niya. And actually, wala na nga talagang makakatulad sa ginawa niya because of the rule changes na din. I'm not taking anything away from Wilt Chamberlain, pero he was responsible for some of those rule changes. So we can give credit to him na kailangan mag-adjust ng basketball sa kanya kasi sobrang lakas niya.
Yun nga, ang trash talk nga niya kay Jordan nung time na naglalaro si Jordan is, they made the game harder for me while they made it easier for you.
Yeah, so perhaps with that, you can make a case for the GOAT. However nga, nahihirapan siya when it comes to winning championships. Kasi maraming beses siyang natalo against his arch rival nga from the Boston Celtics na si Bill Russell na freak of nature din naman noong time na yun.
And was actually one of the best leaders in the NBA noong time na yun.
And Bill Russell was actually playing on a stack team. Kasama niya sila Bob Cousy, di ba? So, with multiple Hall of Famers na kasama mo sa isang team, talagang you'll get the upper hand against Wilt Chamberlain.
So yun, pag-usapan natin yung 100-point game niya na I think something na hindi na ma-achieve ng kahit sinong player. Pero with the way the NBA is right now, I don't think hindi siya ngayon maaabot, pero maybe 20 years from now, someone can replicate that kind of output.
However, for me, talagang ito na siguro yung immortal na record. Yun nga, the closest we've ever got from beating the record is si Kobe nga. And medyo malayo pa yun kasi 19 points away pa siya. So, and actually si Kobe nun, he played every minute kasi kailangan talaga niya kasi natatalo sila. So, siguro yung best shot ni Kobe to beating yung 100 points ni Wilt was yung when he scored 63 points in 3 quarters. Siguro kung naging bolhog siya nung time na yun, baka kinaya niyo makakuha ng 37 points. Kasi chances are, since blowout naman na yun, mga bench warmers yung mga babantay sa kanya.
Pero yun nga, knowing Kobe, that wasn't his thing. And I think it's not impossible to think na magkakaroon ng player na who plays the same way as Kobe, who is as aggressive and is talented as a scorer as Kobe in the far future. Because currently, wala tayong makitang player na ganun eh. We haven't seen a superstar like that ngayon. Maybe that's Kevin Durant, pero with the way the game is played now, I think wala sa mga current players ngayon yung magkakaroon ng katulad ng scoring outburst na katulad ng kay Kobe.
So, again, going back to Wilt Chamberlain, what's amazing about this 100 points is, una, walang shot clock. So, yung mga players, libre silang bagalan at bagalan yung pace ng laro. So, pag mas mabagal yung pace, mas konti yung points. Pero Wilt Chamberlain was able to do that.
And I think to consider that is his amazing impact on defense nga. Because he was often the only athletic 7-footer on the court.
So, parang another thing is to attribute it. Walang 3 points nun. So, lahat ng yan, nakipagbanggaan siya para maka-layup. Talagang, nakikipagpukpukan siya with the players of the other team. So, we have to give credit for him. Hindi mo rin masabi na, mababa yung competition nun. Kasi it's the NBA eh. Kahit sabihin mong mas mataas yung competition ngayon kaysa dati, back then, it was still the best league in the world.
Yep. So yeah, for someone to achieve 100 points in a game, something na talagang amazing.
Though marami naman na naka-achieve niyan in other leagues, I think the Guinness Book of World Records, ang nirecord nila na most in a game was 272 points. So, I have no idea paano nangyari yun. Pero, ayun yung nakalagay sa Guinness Book of World Records na ang pangalan nung nakakuha na record was Mats Wormlin from Australia. However, parang imposible pa. Paano ka makakuha ng 272 points? Kailangan mo tumakbo sa So, I don't know the mechanics of that. Pero sa NBA, nothing came close talaga eh.
True. And, yun nga, with Wilt Chamberlain, I think that's something na we will hear forever talaga. If you say 100 points, that's Wilt Chamberlain talaga.
So, and let's move on sa mga stories about him na nababalitaan natin or naririnig natin. Mga trivias about Wilt Chamberlain.
Ayun, if you ever napanood nyo na yung episode ni Mike Orzemba, na isa sa mga idols namin sa YouTube, ang isa sa mga pinamalupit niyang episode is Otto Porter might be the grandchild of Wilt Chamberlain.
Ayun nga, pero kung titignan mo magkatabi,
Splitting image.
Mukha silang mag-ame, 'di ba? Tapos parehas magaling sa basketball. Tapos parehas athletic. 'Di ba?
Well,
so
actually,
matangkad.
let's take it a notch further. Baka tatay niya si Wilt.
Kasi with sinabi ni Wilt Chamberlain sa isang interview na he has been with around 20,000 women nung time na in-interview siya. So perhaps there's a chance, 'di ba?
Yun nga, I think it's not outrageous to say na baka tatay niya o lolo niya si Wilt. Even though may tatay siya ngayon, you never know.
So, ayun nga, samantalang kami ni Jello, kahit isa lang, nahihirapan pa kami. Samantalang si Wilt, 20,000 yung babaeng dumaan sa kanya.
Imagine mo lang, tol, kung sa 20,000 na yan, tapos ito yung maririnig niyo sa lahat.
Daddy!
Living the life with Wilt Chamberlain.
Ayan. So, and unfortunately nga, Wilt Chamberlain died of siguro kasama na din sa lifestyle niya siguro na he contracted a deadly virus from those kinds of lifestyle. Kaya siguro yun yung nangyari. Pero looking back at the life of Wilt Chamberlain, kung ako yun, I have no regrets kasi yung legacy ko sa NBA, this will be an immortal one. For example, 55 rebounds. Parang ang pinaka malapit ko na nakita dyan was na na-witness ko was Kevin Love na 31 rebounds.
Yep. And actually even Dwight Howard did that a few seasons back. Pero hindi siya madaling i-achieve eh. For players na as talented as Dwight and Kevin Love, they only did it once or twice in their careers.
And another story nga about him was there are rumors na nagsasabi na Wilt Chamberlain has a 50-inch vertical. So imagine a 7'1", 7'2" player with freakishly long wingspan. Unfortunately kasi wala tayong data sa wingspan ni Wilt Chamberlain since hindi ata minimeasure ng NBA yun back then sa mga physicals nila. Pero imagine a 7'2" player, let's say Shaq, tapos tumatalo ng 50 inches off the ground. Parang imposible yun.
And considering nga si Shaq, considered to be the most dominant player of his era and maybe in the NBA, matching up against Wilt, who is obviously a much more athletic and maybe even stronger player, I think magmumukhang baby si Shaq eh.
And even Wilt has a very underrated playmaking
he once led
abilities.
The league. Yun pala, isa sa mga hindi ko nabanggit kanina. He actually led the league in assists once because na-criticize siya for not being a good playmaker, which he actually is.
Actually, tingin ko bro if nagpalit ng pwesto si Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain, feel ko nalagpasan ni Wilt yung 11 championships ni Bill Russell.
It wouldn't be outrageous to say that. And yun nga, sinwerte din kasi si Bill Russell with his teammates and his with his coach. Pero ngayon, to think about it, magkaiba yung play style nila. Maybe it would have not worked with Wilt Chamberlain replacing Bill Russell in that lineup. Pero who knows?
And actually, after retiring from basketball, Wilt Chamberlain actually played professional volleyball. So, and that speaks volumes sa athleticism niya. Kasi normally, players nowadays, if they retire, chances are they become out of shape. If you can remember Shaquille O'Neal, when he retired, bigla siyang lumobo.
Charles Barkley. Ngayon, hanggang ngayon.
Ayun nga. So, even Kobe actually, parang after niya mag-retire, yung changes sa body niya, di ba?
And he actually posted actually someone caught a photo of Kobe looking a bit fat. So he worked out and he was actually slim during this past year nga.
So ayun, ganun yung level of, I think, nasa hormones na rin siguro ni Wilt Chamberlain to na biniyayaan siya ng ganong types of genes.
Mm.
Na, even at age 50, bro, ini-invite siya ng Nets to try out for the team.
Yep. And then, to say na 50 years old, tapos ini-invite ka pa rin maglaro sa NBA, that speaks volumes of how athletic you are as a person.
And ayun nga, may stint pa si Wilt. Hindi natapos sa NBA yung pagbabasketball ni Wilt. He had a stint with the Harlem Globetrotters na nasa entertainment side naman siya ng basketball. Pero I would have paid good money to see Wilt Chamberlain doing dunks from beyond the free throw line.
Yep. And yun, sobrang entertaining na player ni Wilt. And coming from an era of the NBA which was more of an entertainment show than a game, yun, I think that carried over to the popularity of the NBA with his battles with Bill Russell.
So, and another controversy nga, bro. There was this one time na tinawag na All-NBA first si Bill Russell. Pero ang MVP is si Wilt Chamberlain. So, parang nangyari yun, di ba? Na you're the best player pero wala ka sa best team of the league. And ayun niya, and even in the all-decade team ng 50s and 60s, si Bill Russell yung nakalagay sa first team. Tapos nasa second team lang si Wilt Chamberlain.
And championships take a lot into that factor because Wilt didn't win as much championships as Bill Russell.
Pero in my opinion, bro, championships kasi masyado siyang na-over sensationalize kasi it's a team it's a team achievement.
Yeah.
Parang
kung player lang din naman na pag-uusapan, I think Wilt, Kobe, MJ, and LeBron can make a better case over Bill Russell as a better player.
Yeah. Kasi according to some casual fans' logic, Robert Horry is better than Michael Jordan. So, ayun. Anyway, if you can imagine, bro, imagine Wilt Chamberlain playing against today's NBA players like LeBron James, Kevin Durant. Pag nilagay mo siya sa present NBA, what do you think will happen?
I think he'll be the most dominant center, but the competition will be strong. He might be someone like, he might be putting up numbers like Shaq. Same numbers na 30 points per game, 15 rebounds, maybe 5 assists and 3 blocks. Pero the competition will be tough because there are really, really great players in the NBA right now. In the likes of Nikola Jokic as a center na kasing na maybe is actually better than him as a playmaker and maybe a better scorer because he has the range.
And pero hindi mo rin masasabi na walang shooting tong si Wilt Kasi there are actually stories about him na 'di ba sobrang mababa yung free throw percentage niya, and a commentator actually said na it's like throwing grenades. Ganun yung sinabi dun sa free throw ni Wilt. Pero there were stories na if he's attempting free throws from the 3-point line, he converts 90% of the time
And meron ng video actually ni Wilt na he was shooting hook shots from 3-point distance because sometime na yun, wala pa talagang 3-point line Pero he was shooting from that distance casually, and he was making consecutive shots.
Yeah. And ang isa pang gumulat sa akin dito kay Wilt is yung longevity niya. I mean, not perhaps sa tagal ng career, pero sa playstyle niya and sa usage rate niya, plus the fact na yung ginagamit nilang sapatos ng mga Chuck Taylor and yung mga kahoy sa court noon hindi pa naman well polished. He was rarely injured.
Yep.
Na i-expect mo someone who jumps so high, someone who runs a lot, someone who plays a lot of minutes. i-expect mo magkaka-injury yan at some point. Yun nga yung nakikita natin sa mga players ngayon despite the advancement in medical technology.
So, yun nga. To say na LeBron James is a genetic monster, I think Wilt Chamberlain takes that to whole another level. Because nung time niya, yung medical science wasn't as good as LeBron James' time. Pero he was that good.
And actually nga, I can remember yung draft ni Greg Oden. Actually, marami nagsasabing writers na Greg Oden was the closest thing to Wilt Chamberlain. Kasi pag nakita mo yung college highlights ni Greg Oden, yung mga scoop shots, yung mga finger roll na pababa, si Wilt Chamberlain, ginagawa ni Greg Oden yun consistently. And there were flashes of it during nung rookie season ni Greg Oden. However, sadly, because of injury nga, hindi natin nakita yung full potential ni Greg Oden.
And yun, I think yung impact niya sa NBA, I think that carries over to the centers of the past and even today. Because yung moves na ginagawa nga niya, yun nga, for example, Greg Oden, are still moves done in today's game. Especially with the likes of Nikola Jokic, mga traditional bigs yung style ng post-game, na mahilig sa finger roll, sa hook shots. Those were shots na popularized by him and his contemporaries.
So, bro, tingin mo, to end this episode, who will be the closest one to try to break the 100 points so far? If you judge from the present NBA players.
If there's one player na I think that can break that record, I think it would be Trae Young. For the players that are currently in the NBA, because the current stars, the current superstars, LeBron, KD, Kyrie, Harden, these guys, they can score a lot, pero hindi na yun yung hindi na yun yung goal nila. And they have a bigger goal, and winning championships doesn't necessarily equate to scoring a lot of points, although that helps. Pero if there's one player talaga na maybe yun nga, if you're in a struggling team and they need someone to be their one and only scorer, that's Trae Young. And given his shooting prowess and the opportunities he gets from three, it's not impossible to say na he might break the record of Steph Curry while also breaking the record of Wilt Chamberlain.
And with the 3-point line being implemented ngayon compared dati, I think mas may shot siguro in the future. Perhaps not now kasi more on team-oriented basketball. Pero with the pace na meron tayo ngayon, parang perhaps may lalapit. Pero siguro hindi pa rin talaga mabibit. And I can imagine Wilt Chamberlain playing with a 3-point line. So, siguro nasa 150 yung yung
scoring niya,
record niya if ever.
Pero, ayun, I think 100 is not outrageous 20 years from now.
And kung marami nga nakakagawa nun outside the NBA, and recently nga lang, itong si Jimmer Fredette, nakakapaggawa ng 70 points sa China. Perhaps, may mga makakagawa din nun dito sa NBA.
Doon, malay mo sila Melo Ball, who once scored 109 points in a game.
Yeah, and a 90-point game in a competitive game in high school. Wow. So, ayun. Malay natin, di ba?
Oh, it's not impossible talaga kung yung pace and yung style of play would be taking it steps higher.
Ako tol, nabit ko na to 100 points na to sa 2K. Tapos syempre naka-rookie difficulty.
Naka-sliders cheat na.
Naka-sliders tayo para mabit. Pero that explain yan talaga yung nag-e-explain sa greatness ni Wilt Chamberlain. And he might not be perhaps the greatest of all time. Pero you can say na wala siyang case kasi he has all the records to prove you otherwise.
And I think yung life niya, he lived a really awesome life. Maybe merong mga downside because with this lifestyle. Pero I think it was a life fulfilled. As a legend, as someone that is immortal.
Yeah. So, ayan. And I guess that's it for this episode, guys. So again, make sure to like, comment, share this video, and subscribe to our channel. And hit that notification bell so we can get to 1,000 subscribers. Also, kung may mga suggestions kayong topic sa amin, if you want to discuss anything, comment down below and we will consider it.
Yep. Just leave a comment down below and then pag-usapan natin yan. And then, malay nyo, maging guest pa kayo namin someday.
And so,
ayun. Again, this is Vamos Podcast. My name is Jella. This is my partner, Jem. I'll see you in the next episode.